A woman was shot and killed just minutes after posting about the domestic violence she was facing. Family members say 34-year-old Mariah Samuels lost her life this weekend to that violence.
Mariah Samuels turned 34 in August 2025. Her family threw her a party. Her two sons were there, Peace, her 11-year-old, and her oldest, who just graduated high school. They took photos, ate cake, celebrated a woman who was finally thriving, because that's what Mariah was doing. Thriving. She ran her own dog grooming business in North Minneapolis. Clients didn't just book appointments, they requested her specifically. She had a gift. And animals felt safe with her, people felt safe with her. Her sister Simone said it best. There's nobody else like that girl in this whole world. Mariah lived with her father, had a tight circle of friends, showed up for people. She wasn't looking for trouble. She was building something: independence, stability, joy, a life where she called the shots, and then she met David Wright. Summer 2025, David Eugene Wright walks into Mariah's world. He's 50 years old, just home from a long federal prison sentence. And right from the start, Mariah sees it, the way he watches her, tracks her movements. Questions where she's been, the jealousy when she talks to other people, the control disguised as concern, prison mentality. You know the type. Men who spent years locked up, where every interaction is about dominance, where losing control means losing everything. David brought that energy home with him. And Mariah, she didn't make excuses. She didn't tell herself it would get better. She recognized the danger, so she ended it. Called him, told him they were done. His response? That's not happening on my watch. Not I'm hurt. Not can we talk about this? That's not happening. As if her life was his to control. Then the threats started. Text messages saying he'd blow up the house where her father lived. Late night appearances outside her home. Surveillance. And here's the thing. People who've never been there don't understand. Everyone says just leave. Mariah left. That's when it got deadly. August 21st, 2025. Mariah drops her son off at a friend's house, a few blocks from her place. She doesn't know David has been following her, tracking her, waiting. He meets her outside, and the mask comes off. He hits her in the face, upper body, with his hands. Then with the gun, a pistol whip that leaves a knot on her head. He grabs her throat, squeezes. While holding the weapon, threatens to shoot her, threatens to shoot anyone inside who tries to help. Mariah's terrified, bleeding, bruised, but she's also calculating because she understands something crucial. If he'll do this in public, in broad daylight, where people can see, what would he do behind closed doors? She goes home with scratches, a knot on her head, her neck sore from where he grabbed her. But more than that, she goes home knowing she's in a race against time. Either she gets protection or David kills her. It's that simple. 5 days later, August 26th, Mariah walks into Hennepin County Court. She files for an order for protection for herself, for Peace, her 11-year-old. She documents everything in the petition, the threats to blow up the house, the assault on August 21st, the gun to her face, his hands on her throat, the death threats. The court reads it and grants the order immediately. August 29th, David Wright is formally served, a legal document ordering him to stay away from Mariah and her son. No contact, no communication, no exceptions. For 48 hours, Mariah might have believed that paper would protect her. She might have thought the system was finally working. She was wrong. Before we go any further, I need to say something. If you've ever told someone, just get a restraining order, keep watching, because Mariah got one. She followed every step, filed the paperwork, got it approved, had it served, and I'm about to show you why that piece of paper meant absolutely nothing to the man hunting her. If you know someone who thinks a court order is enough protection, share this video with them. They need to see what happened next. Because what happens when the person who's supposed to stay away doesn't? And what happens when the people who are supposed to enforce it won't? Mariah found out, and it cost her everything. Here's what I want to know. If a restraining order doesn't actually restrain anyone, and what's it really for? Drop your answer in the comments, because the courts, they're not saying. September 14th, 2025. 7:54 a.m. Mariah hits post. Her message goes live on Facebook. By 7:57, she's dead. 3 minutes. That's how long Mariah Samuels had left to live when she typed her final words. Stalking me at 4 in the morning, and the police ain't doing anything besides serve him with a protective order, and clearly it's not doing anything. She attached video evidence. She named him. She begged for help. And then she walked outside to her Jeep. He was waiting, with a gun, 15 bullets loaded. Her neighbor heard the first shot from an upstairs bedroom, then 4 more, then Mariah screaming, then silence, then 5 more shots. He didn't stop when she fell. 15 shell casings scattered on the pavement. 10 bullets found their target. 10. Police arrived 4 minutes after the first 911 call, but Mariah had been dead for 3, slumped against her car door.
Sunday morning, Minneapolis police found her shot here in North Minneapolis, just feet from her own front door.
Legs still inside, keys in her hand, evidence of a woman who tried to run and couldn't. Here's what you need to understand before we go any further. Mariah didn't ignore the red flags. She didn't stay. She didn't make excuses. She left him, got a restraining order, called the police, documented everything. She did exactly what you're supposed to do, and it got her killed. So if you've ever wondered why women don't just leave, keep watching, because Mariah did. And I'm about to show you what happened when the system she trusted decided her life wasn't worth protecting. But first, you need to know who Mariah really was, because she wasn't a statistic. She was a 34-year-old mother building a life, and somebody took it from her. Welcome to Hot True Crime Stories. Kindly support us by subscribing to this channel and turn on the notification bell icon so you won't miss out on our most important true crime documentary. David Eugene Wright was 50 years old when he murdered Mariah, but his violence started decades earlier. 2002, David's dating a woman. She tries to leave him. His response? He points a gun at her and at her 15-year-old sister. 2 women, 1 teenage girl. A loaded weapon. They report him, press charges, agree to testify. But David doesn't let that happen. From his jail cell, he makes calls, sends messages, makes sure they understand. Show up in court, and you're next. The girlfriend and her sister are terrified. They don't appear at trial. The case goes all the way to the Minnesota Supreme Court because of his witness intimidation. But here's what matters. It worked. David learned something that day. Threaten the right people hard enough, and the system can't touch you. So he did it again, and again, and again. Over 23 years, his record builds. 2 aggravated robberies, 2 second-degree assaults, both against women, both involving guns. Multiple illegal weapons charges, 2009 federal conviction, 15-year sentence for gun crimes. David Wright is officially a prohibited person, banned for life from owning firearms. You'd think that would stop him. It didn't. Here's what nobody talks about. When David murdered Mariah on September 14th, 2025, he was on federal supervised release. Let that sink in. The United States government was supposed to be monitoring him, tracking him, making sure a violent felon stayed in line. But on August 21st, when David pistol whipped Mariah, grabbed her throat, and threatened to shoot her, he was carrying a gun, a felon, on supervision, with an illegal firearm. That's a federal crime. Automatic. Doesn't require Mariah's cooperation. The Minneapolis police response? They didn't file charges. Their excuse? Mariah didn't want to press charges. But here's the truth they don't want you to know. It doesn't matter what Mariah wanted. David Wright, a federally convicted felon, possessed a firearm. That's a crime against the state, not just against Mariah. Police could have arrested him that day. August 21st revoked his supervised release, put him back in federal custody. Mariah would be alive, but they didn't, and 24 days later, she was dead. August 29th, David is served with the order for protection. He reads it, understands it, signs the acknowledgement, and then he violates it immediately. The pattern is textbook. Classic abuser playbook. First, he tries love bombing. I still have things for your birthday. I hate that you won't accept them. When Mariah doesn't respond, he escalates. I love you, Mariah. I am truly sorry for the hurt I caused you. I will regret that night for the rest of my life. Still no response. Now comes the rage. You are a fake-ass nothing bitch. I knew you were fucking that man. Each text is a violation. Each one documented. Each one reported to police. Nothing happens. David learns the lesson again. Orders mean nothing if nobody enforces them. By early September, he's outside her house at 4 a.m., watching, waiting. His obsession centers on one thing. Mariah might be seeing someone else. The idea that she's moved on, that she's living without him, that another man might have what he believes belongs to him. It's eating him alive. So he starts planning. Mariah knows it too. She can feel it. She posts videos of the abuse on social media, creates a digital record, makes it public. When private channels fail, you go public. You make noise. You hope someone with power will finally listen. But David's watching those posts too, and each one makes him angrier. September 13th, 4 a.m. David is outside Mariah's house again. A neighbor sees him. Mariah's sister gets frantic calls that morning. David is texting, threatening, spiraling. He's convinced Mariah is with another man. His texts confirm it. Jealousy, rage, ownership. In David's mind, Mariah has committed the ultimate betrayal. She left. She got the order. She documented his abuse. She moved on. Each one a rejection of his control. Each one unforgivable. By the morning of September 14th, David has made his decision. If he can't have her, nobody can. So he loads 15 bullets into a gun he's not legally allowed to own, and he waits for her to come outside. Let me ask you something. David Wright had a 23-year history of terrorizing women with guns. He was on federal supervision. The government was supposed to be watching him. He violated a court order multiple times. Police had evidence. They had documentation. They knew he was carrying an illegal firearm, and he was walking around free. How many women need to die before we stop calling these isolated incidents? Subscribe if you think someone, anyone, needs to be held accountable for this. Because Mariah tried. She reported everything. She followed every rule. And the system that was supposed to protect her, it protected him instead. When a man violates a restraining order and nothing happens, who's really being protected? The victim or the abuser? Tell me in the comments what you think actually would have stopped David Wright, because a piece of paper sure didn't. Well, September 14th, 2025, around 4 a.m. David is outside Mariah's house. A neighbor sees him pacing, watching the windows. He's been there for hours. 10:47 a.m. Mariah texts her sister. David is messaging her again, violating the order, threatening her. Her sister begs her to stay inside, to call the police, to wait for help. But Mariah has to get to work. She has appointments, clients depending on her. She can't live in fear forever. 54 a.m. Mariah opens Facebook, types her final message. I was trying to stay silent, but stalking me at 4 in the morning, and the police ain't doing anything besides serve him with a protective order, and clearly it's not doing anything. She attaches a video. Evidence of David hitting her. She hits post. The message goes live, and then she grabs her keys, walks toward her Jeep. 3 minutes left. 50:05 a.m. Mariah steps outside. Morning air. Quiet street. Her Jeep is parked at the curb. Keys in her hand. Phone in her pocket. Still displaying that Facebook post. She doesn't see David, but he's there, waiting in the shadows. Gun loaded. 15 bullets ready. The neighbor upstairs hears it first. A single shot cracks through the morning silence. Mariah screams. 4 more shots. She's trying to get inside the Jeep, fumbling with the door, desperate. Her screams echo down the block, then silence. Just for a moment. Then 5 more shots ring out. He's not stopping. Not even after she falls. He keeps firing, keeps pulling that trigger, making sure. When it's over, 15 shell casings litter the ground around her body. 10 bullets have hit their target. 10. This wasn't a crime of passion. This wasn't a moment of rage. This was an execution, calculated, methodical, final. Witnesses see David standing over Mariah's body. He grabs her arms, tries to drag her out of the Jeep. He's pulling, struggling, trying to move her. Why? Was he planning to take her somewhere? Hide the body? We'll never know, because he can't move her. She's dead weight, literally. So he changes plans. He tries to get into the driver's seat, tries to steal her Jeep and flee, but he can't get it started. Sirens in the distance now. Someone's called 911. David panics. He runs to the back of the Jeep, pulls out Mariah's bicycle, and rides away like nothing happened. Police arrive at 7:58 a.m., 4 minutes after the first shot. They find Mariah slumped against the car door, her legs still inside the vehicle, upper body outside, keys still in her hand. She tried to escape, tried to drive away, tried to save herself, but David had already decided she wouldn't leave that driveway alive. Paramedics confirm what everyone already knows. Mariah Rosanna Samuels, 34 years old, mother of 2, dead at the scene. Her phone is nearby. Facebook's still open. That final post, the one asking for help, still visible on the screen, posted at 7:54 a.m. She died 3 minutes later. 4 hours pass. Police track David to Anoka, arrest him without incident. They bring him in for questioning. Sit him down. Show him photos of what he's done. Photos of Mariah's body, the crime scene, the blood. His response? I'm not going to fight this situation. This is not going to be a hard-fought case. Not remorse, not, I didn't mean to, not, I'm sorry. A confession, immediate, unapologetic. Then he says something that tells you everything you need to know about how men like David think. Read the text messages. You'll understand. He wants the detectives to see his side, to understand his justification. In David's mind, Mariah betrayed him. She left. She got that order. She moved on. She embarrassed him publicly. She made him look weak. And in his twisted logic, that justified putting 10 bullets in her body. He expected understanding, maybe even sympathy, because to him, Mariah wasn't a person with rights, with autonomy, with a life of her own. She was property. And when property steps out of line, you destroy it. That's how abusers think. That's how they justify murder. And that's why Mariah's dead. Mariah's last words to the world were, "The police ain't doing anything." She posted that at 7:54 a.m. By 7:57, she was dead. 3 minutes. If that doesn't make you angry, I don't know what will, because this wasn't inevitable. This wasn't unpredictable. Every warning sign was there. Every red flag was waving. Mariah documented everything. She begged for help. She followed every rule. And the system that was supposed to protect her watched her die. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more cases where the warning signs were screaming and everyone pretended they couldn't hear them. Because this keeps happening. And until we get loud enough, it's going to keep happening. If Mariah had shot David Wright in self-defense that morning, do you think she'd be in prison right now? Be honest in the comments, because I think we all know the answer. The day after Mariah's murder, her family stands in front of cameras, still in shock, still processing that she's gone. Her sister Simone speaks, voice shaking, eyes filled with rage and grief. She says something that stops everyone cold. Mariah will be the fourth woman in our family murdered by someone who said they loved them. The fourth, not the first, not even the second. The fourth woman in one family killed by an intimate partner. 4 women who trusted someone. 4 women who believed in love. 4 women the system failed to protect. Mariah's aunt, Carolyn Brooks, steps forward. Her message is urgent, desperate. Take domestic violence seriously. Reach out to somebody. I don't know if the police can help you all the time. Get out. Get out of the relationship. Escape if you can. She's not speaking in theory anymore. She's speaking from experience. From 4 funerals, from 4 families destroyed. Within days, they start a GoFundMe for Mariah's sons. 2 boys who have to grow up without their mother because a man couldn't handle being told no. September 20th, 2025, 6 days after the murder. More than 150 people marched through North Minneapolis, from the crime scene at Russell Avenue to the 4th Precinct Police Headquarters. They carry signs, chant her name, demand answers. The message is clear. Mariah did everything right. The system failed her, and someone needs to be held accountable. Mariah's death isn't unique. That's the most horrifying part. In Minnesota alone, at least 26 people were killed by domestic violence the year before Mariah died. Nationally, the numbers are staggering. And here's the pattern nobody wants to acknowledge. The most dangerous time for a victim isn't when they stay, it's when they leave. Research confirms it. Statistics prove it. Advocates know it. Leaving is when abusers feel they're losing control. And that's when they become lethal. So when people ask, why didn't she just leave? Mariah left. She got the restraining order. She documented the abuse. She called police. She went public. She did everything society tells victims to do, and she's still dead because the system treats domestic violence like a private matter, a relationship problem, a civil issue. Not what it actually is, a public safety emergency.
Domestic violence seriously. You know, reach out to somebody. I don't know if the police can help you all the time. Get out of the relationship. Escape if you can.
In Minneapolis,
David Wright had 23 years of documented violence. He was on federal supervision. He violated a court order multiple times. He possessed illegal firearms. And at every checkpoint, the system said, this isn't serious enough yet. By the time it was serious enough, Mariah was dead. Let's be clear about what failure looks like. August 21st, 2025, David assaults Mariah with a gun. He's a convicted felon, banned from owning firearms, on supervised release. Police should have arrested him immediately, no questions. No waiting for Mariah to press charges. Possessing that gun was a federal crime, period. His supervised release should have been revoked on the spot. He should have been back in federal custody that day, but that didn't happen. August 29th, David is served with the order for protection. The moment he violates it, the first text, the first appearance at her house, he should have been arrested. Immediate consequences. every single time. But that didn't happen either. September 13th, he's outside her house at 4 a.m. stalking her. High-risk offenders like David need GPS monitoring, need immediate detention for violations, need to understand that the consequences are real and swift, but none of that was in place. Instead, David learned what every abuser learns when systems fail. You can violate orders, you can threaten, you can stalk, and nothing will happen until you kill somebody. By then, it's too late. Mariah Samuels should be alive today, grooming dogs, raising her sons, celebrating holidays with her family. She should be 35 years old right now, planning her next birthday, building her business, living her life. But she's not, because David Wright decided her life belonged to him, and because every institution designed to protect her treated his freedom as more important than her safety. Mariah did everything right. She recognized danger early. She left immediately. She sought legal protection. She documented every threat. She called for help publicly when private channels failed. She fought for her life with every tool the system gave her. And those tools were worthless. Her death wasn't inevitable. It was the result of specific preventable failures. Failures by police who didn't arrest a felon with a gun. Failures by supervision officers who didn't monitor a high-risk offender. Failures by a system that treats restraining orders like magic shields instead of pieces of paper that need enforcement. Mariah deserved better. Her sons, Peace and his older brother, deserved to grow up with their mother. And the next woman dealing with someone like David Wright, she deserves better too. Here's what keeps me up at night. Mariah's story isn't rare. It's a pattern. And right now, right this second, someone watching this video knows someone like David Wright. Someone who won't let go. Someone who threatens. Someone who's escalating. Maybe it's your friend, your sister, your coworker, your neighbor. Maybe it's you. And here's what you need to understand. Leaving isn't enough. A restraining order isn't enough. Calling the police isn't enough. The system that failed Mariah is the same system that's supposed to protect you. So what do? You make noise. You document everything. You tell everyone. You refuse to suffer in silence. And you share stories like Mariah's. Because silence is how this keeps happening. Share this video. Tag someone who needs to see it. Show it to someone who thinks it could never happen to them. Because Mariah thought the system would protect her. And now her sons are growing up without a mother. Subscribe to this channel if you believe these stories need to be told. If you think accountability matters. If you're tired of watching women die while institutions shrug. Because every view, every share, every comment, that's how we force change. Mariah can't speak anymore, so we have to speak for her. Let me ask you something the courts don't want to answer. If police knew David Wright was violating the order, knew he had a gun illegally, knew his history, and did nothing, should they be charged as accomplices to murder? Tell me in the comments what accountability actually looks like. Because I'm tired of funerals. If you or someone you know is experiencing domestic violence, please reach out. National Domestic Violence Hotline, 1-800-799-7233. Text START to 88788. Chat online at thehotline.org. If you're in immediate danger, call 911. Mariah Samuels. August 1991, September 14th, 2025. Devoted mother, loving sister, gentle soul. She brought joy to everyone who knew her. Her bravery in seeking help should inspire us all to do better. To her sons, her sisters Simone and Selena, her father, and all who loved her. Your grief is shared by everyone who refuses to let her story be forgotten. Rest in peace, Mariah. Your voice continues through those of us who won't stay silent. Until next time. Believe people when they say they're afraid. Demand better from the systems that claim to protect them. And remember, behind every statistic is someone who deserved to be safe. Thank you for watching to the end, and I will see you on the next episode of Hot True Crime Stories. Stay safe.